Ba-do-do-do-do-do. Welcome to the awesome Padron podcast. Hello, everyone.
Are we an ASMR channel now?
How are you?
Should we all speak in whispers now?
Yeah. We need to start talking very smooth voices.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, today, just so you know, good old Johnny Depp was beaten by Amber Heard, and we're
so dark for an ASMR channel.
So I mean, spoiler alert. That's what we're gonna talk about in a second. But
You guys say your intro, bro.
oh yeah. So hey guys, thank you for hopping on over here and checking us out. If you're watching on YouTube and you like what we have to say but hate what you have to see, head on over to Google Play, Spotify, and whatever Apple's doing.
I don't know why my head thought you were talking about like apples. Wherever apples are doing.
yeah, check out whatever Apples are doing. Whatever Apples.
Go look them up. Google it.
Yeah. Check it out. Man, maybe this straw does make a lot of noise because I just hurt
No,
myself.
it's just you.
You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Well, guys, we have so much stuff to talk about today. It's a crazy show.
Crazy show.
Crazy.
We only have like 2 topics.
Well, maybe
Whoa, Zachary, don't give away our secrets.
Hey, calm down over there. No reason to let them know that we're going to come up with stuff on the spot.
Yeah, we go down rabbit holes a lot, so I think that should help.
Yeah, so maybe it'll happen.
Now they know, Zach.
There's not a lot of movie news nowadays with
I'm
2020.
just saying, they think, wow, they're so cool. They
Yeah.
have all this thought out. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
just us just talking.
Yeah.
Now they know. You gave our secret away.
Hey, they don't know which 2 topics it is.
Yeah, exactly. It could be. Well, they know what one of them is.
Yeah, because you kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
It's a guessing game with the second one.
Yeah, who knows? That's gonna be the thing about our channel. Like, who knows what they're gonna talk about? Comment below what you think we're gonna talk about.
Just a wild guess.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna start off with the old Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty crazy stuff going on there, especially with Warner Brothers being stupid about it.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is really showing.
Well, do you want to give a summary kind of for people?
Well,
I don't know how you haven't heard, but in case.
Yeah, I can begin, but y'all can help me out if y'all want. So
Brittany knows the most about it. I just know a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I think most of y'all know that for a while now, there's been this whole thing of Johnny Depp having the court case with Amber Heard because they were married, and it initially came out that Amber Heard was saying that Johnny Depp was abusing her, but then over a long series of events, it came out that she was the one abusing him, and there's evidence for it. There's video recordings and a bunch of different other stuff. But then Johnny Depp sued this one newspaper company. Was it The Sun?
Yeah.
And because they labeled him as a wife beater whenever the news first started coming out about how he abused Amber Heard. Mm-hmm. So he sued them for libel. But he lost that case here recently, maybe a week or 2 ago, maybe 2 weeks. And so Warner Brothers fired him from Fantastic Beasts 3.
Yeah, even though he filmed some scenes.
Yeah, he filmed one scene, I think, and then they didn't fire him, but they made him resign. So, which is pretty much the same thing as firing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does that really mean? Make someone resign?
I guess it's
other than firing,
I guess it's more respectable. You can.
What are you gonna do if he doesn't resign?
Because I feel like if he would have just said, "Oh, he resigned," instead of he was forced to resign, I guess I don't know if there's more benefits from him being fired or being resigned. I don't know how it works.
Well, I mean,
the actor
Johnny Depp was the one who posted on his Instagram that he said that Warner Brothers asked him to resign.
Yeah, but
so
I'm
it's not
saying
like Warner Brothers said, "Oh, we asked Johnny Depp to resign."
No, because I'm saying in the real world, if you quit or get fired, depends on if you're gonna get benefits or not.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in the celebrity world.
Yeah, the acting world.
Yeah,
that's true.
So then on the flip side, Warner Brothers has the DCEU, the DC movies, superhero movies, and Amber Heard obviously was in Aquaman 1 and Justice League. Played Mira. Is that how you pronounce her name?
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Aquaman's wife or girlfriend or whatever. but she still signed on to be in Aquaman 2, and she's even said, like, was it this week or last week?
That
she still has all plans to be in the second one, and she's excited to start filming and all that. Mm-hmm. So Warner Brothers, the same company that made Johnny Depp resign from one of their movies, is keeping Amber Heard and staying silent with everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
So it's
really that's fishy. Kind of where, and there's a petition going around that Warner Brothers needs to get rid of Amber Heard.
Yeah.
And it's up to about 1 million signatures now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if do those kind of petitions really do anything. Have you ever heard of it was like a change.org thing?
Well, how did Sonic get changed? Was there a petition going around?
I think it was just
I think it was just the
memes
the
on the Twitter.
Yeah. The uproar it made.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Like you said, I don't know how signatures work. I think it's more.
I think he realized. I think with Sonic, they realized they probably would lose more money if they didn't change it than they would if they did.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was.
It's honestly gotten to a point though where like even if they do eventually fire, it's like taking them so long.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I still want to go see it because
and I read
they
somewhere
need to know they have consequences for their actions.
I read somewhere, was it today or yesterday, that was saying the reason why Warner Brothers probably hasn't fired Amber Heard is because she's under contract and all this. And it's like, yeah, but if the roles were reversed, you can't tell me that Johnny Depp wouldn't have been fired on the spot, contract or not.
And didn't Johnny Depp have a contract with the Fantastic Beasts?
I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's a Harry Potter franchise, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel, and he's what? I'm sorry, guys, we're gonna lose a lot of fans, but I don't watch Harry Potter.
I
watched the first Fantastic Beasts. I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah.
So his character is revealed at the very end of the first one.
Yeah.
But then I didn't watch the second one, so I don't really know who.
So
I know his character's name is Grindelwald. That's about it.
Yeah. So I don't really know, but I mean, I figured that because like I'm pretty sure in the Harry Potter world that's a big villain, so he had to have been signed on at least maybe 2-3 more movies.
Was Grindelwald in the Harry Potter movies?
Well, I don't think he's in the Harry Potter movies, but he's probably like because I know those are based on books. The Fantastic Beasts, they're based on books, aren't they?
Are they? Are they based on books? Or are they based? For some reason I thought they're based on books. And we have like 3 people who are talking about stuff they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to this.
Yeah. But I do know that he's a big character because the second one was called The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
And that's his character's name. So.
Yeah. But with this news with Amber Heard, it just proves how horrible Warner Brothers are. Have we talked about on the podcast about what they did?
Oh, yeah, with the Ray Fisher?
Yeah, with Ray Fisher.
Oh, did we?
I don't think so.
No.
What they did with Ray Fisher was apparently while they were filming Justice League, weren't they like it was really bad conditions for him?
Yeah. Well, for a lot of people, but he's been one of the people who's spoken up about it.
Yeah. And so when he came out about it,
it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was probably over the summer.
Warner Brothers announced that they were going to make some Santa Claus movie. Or no, Frosty the
Snowman, yeah, with Jason Momoa voicing him.
And it was this whole thing. Well, then it came out, Jason Momoa tweeted out saying, I haven't heard anything about this movie. Yeah. I don't know what's being talked about.
Well, it was like a big tweet because he finally came to back up Ray Fisher because for a while Ray Fisher was the only one saying all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And Jason Momoa finally came up to like back him up. And he said that I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said pretty much that everything he said was true. Mm-hmm. Everything he's saying is true. And then he said that the Frosty Snowman thing isn't even a thing.
Yeah,
he's never been approached for that.
So then at that point, it was obvious Warner Brothers was just throwing out news to distract from Ray Fisher's.
Something that was so insanely crazy.
Yeah. So that people would talk about Jason Momoa being Frosty the Snowman's voice and then hopefully forget Ray Fisher's accusations. So Warner Brothers is turning out to be a pretty horrible company. And they're showing it.
Yeah. And what's crazy to me is that the firing of Johnny Depp, right? Like, it would have been one thing if, like, because I think you read somewhere, someone's like, well, he probably got fired because he lost a court case with Amber Heard, right?
Yeah.
You know? And that'd be one thing, right? You lose a case with Amber Heard, so you're found guilty of beating her. Maybe it's not true still, but at the least, that would have made some sense.
Yeah, because the courts looked at the evidence and found that Johnny Depp was the one that was actually guilty.
Yeah, of doing that.
Yeah.
But whenever you're firing someone because they sued a company that lied about you, and then you lost, you know, that's really doesn't make any sense,
right?
Like, at all to fire somebody about that.
Yeah, because like like you said, I've been seeing people use that as like argument against like defending Warner Brothers because like he lost his case against Amber Heard, but they're saying it like he lost the case like you're saying like he lost the case there where he accused her of beating him. Yeah, but he didn't lose that case. He lost the libel case with a completely different person or company.
Yeah, and I think we might have talked about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, but the things that because he has video or voice recording of phone conversations between them, and you can just tell that she's a manipulative person. And there's many of her exes that have come out and say that they were actually abused by her too. Right.
Yeah. And then Johnny Depp's exes have also come out and said that he's never been abusive to them. Yeah. When they're dating.
So it's obvious that Amber Heard is the one that's lying.
Yeah. And one more thing about that was because the court case he lost, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like he lost. It's not like they're saying the fact that he lost that court case. It's not necessarily saying that what he said is false. Yeah. Like they lied about him. It's that he lost the fact that it was illegal for them to do that. Right. Right? Right. So it's not like, so pretty much basically he didn't really, the only thing he lost was what they did wasn't illegal. Right. Not what they did was wrong.
Right. Because with the evidence that they had at the time, it's like we said, because she claimed that he beat her and she claimed to have photo evidence. Yeah. So what they ran with was true, but he was trying to clear his name. Yeah. And he lost because eventually, I mean, you know, when it comes to like the press, there's things that they have to like uphold, and they upheld what they had at that time.
Yeah, so what they did might not be illegal because it's the information they had. So it's like, okay, so Johnny Depp's a woman beater. He beat his wife, you know. Mm-hmm. So what they had at the time might not be illegal because it, to an extent, it was terrible that they did that without any evidence. But you know, it's something that a lot of people probably would have done anyways. Mm-hmm. But that's not really what he lost on. It's not really. He didn't really lose on the fact that what they did was wrong. He lost on the fact that what they did wasn't illegal. Right. So it doesn't make any sense that he got no sense that he got fired based off of that.
Right.
Yeah, and like didn't she like cut off his finger? Yeah. Like crapped in his bed.
Yeah, crapped in his bed. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not just the verbal abuse. Mm. Like this is serious stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what? Oh, what were you gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say that I saw, you know, because there's lots of articles on Facebook, and I was reading the comments, and this one person was like, I feel like the studio needs to stay out of marital affairs and just deal with it. To an extent, yeah.
It's not marital affairs.
Yeah. If it was marital affairs is people are going through a divorce, it gets messy, and then one person gets fired. Okay, that's where the studio needs to stay out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a messy divorce.
Even if it's something like cheating. Yeah. Even if it's something as much as cheating. It's wrong, but it's like, even that I should really kind of stay out of.
Yeah.
You know.
But this is serious. Yeah. This is sending a message that it is okay to beat somebody, and then we're still going to put you in a big studio movie.
Yeah, it's like saying like Harvey Weinstein should still be able to work, or like Bill Cosby, or
I don't want to go out and say because I don't want to send out the wrong impression here. I am a huge supporter of the feminist movement. Mm-hmm. Right. I really am. Yeah. And to an extent, what I hate about all this is it's really getting those guys who are against the feminist movement, like it's really getting them off probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, because they're like, oh, look at that. A man's being treated terribly. That means that all these feminists are ruining it. Like, no, the feminist movement is an important issue, and I'm full support of it.
Yeah. Right.
But I do understand, and even though I do believe that women need to be treated better in certain ways when it comes to money or when it comes to sexual harassment or anything like that, yeah, they need to be treated better. Mm-hmm. I'm also not blind to the fact that men are treated wrong in some other aspects, some important aspects too, you know, which this is one of them. If a man is beaten by a woman, it's not taken seriously. If a man is raped by a woman, it's not taken seriously. Yeah. And again, I'm full support of the feminist movement. It's just I'm not like blinded by it. Right. You know, I understand that women need to be treated better in a lot of areas, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't take action in the men areas, which, by the way, is what most feminists believe anyways. Most feminists are for equality, you know. Right. Most feminists would probably agree with us on that fact, right? They would probably agree with us that, yeah, women like women need to be treated better more, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Just because it's been centuries of
Yeah.
women being treated horribly and not taken seriously.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's a big push with the Me Too movement. We saw that, and we still have a long way to go. But when it comes to these kind of issues, these issues need to be taken seriously. Men's mental health needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah, and that also has to go with the point of toxic masculinity. I don't think people understand when they talk about when people don't understand the idea of toxic masculinity, in which feminism is trying to drive out. Right?
Yeah.
In general, it needs to be driven out, and it has to do with this, right? Because you have years and years and years, centuries of telling you that men are stronger than women, which I'm not going to lie. I do believe that men, if you were to have a man and a woman do the exact same exercise and workouts every day and do the exact same schedule and routines, I do think the man would end up stronger. It's just biology, right?
Right.
But you're taught that men are stronger. You're taught that men shouldn't show emotion, so shouldn't cry or do a lot of things. And so then that brings in toxic masculinity, which then brings in the idea that Johnny Depp couldn't have been beaten by Amber Heard because she's only like 90 pounds. Because I've seen that argument too, right? So it's not like me saying this is against like the feminist movement. And it's not like this is showing that the feminist movement is ruining anything. In fact, the feminist movement is actually all for really probably Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Because this is all part of toxic masculinity and what it's brought us to.
Right.
Is the fact that men aren't taken seriously with things like rape or abuse from women.
Yeah. And people don't, yes, she did chop off his fingers, or his finger, not his fingers, his finger, which is pretty serious. And she did crap in his bed, which is also serious. But people don't realize what verbal abuse can do to a person.
Right.
Telling somebody that they're worthless and that this is the best they're going to get, it soon becomes part of their self-talk.
Yeah.
And they don't think that they can do any better. And, you know, it's just like the excuses that are used in domestic violence cases against women, when people are like, well, why didn't the woman just leave? You know, I've been seeing that a lot with Johnny Depp. They're like, he has all this money, why didn't he just leave her? Because you get into that mindset that this is the only person that's ever going to love me. And this is what I deserve.
Yeah, and it happens with, like I said, it happens with women all the time.
Yeah.
And whenever women don't break up with someone, we also bring attention to that. That abuse is very mental. And it really just brings your confidence down that low. And like you said, like we bring it up with women too.
Yeah.
So it needs to work out with both on that.
Yeah, and did she even say in one of the recordings where she was like, try to tell people that I beat you, they're never gonna believe you.
Yeah, that's what she said in one of the recordings.
There's also that, like, there's just
like
society.
Confession.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also like the whole like society's not like. You feel kind of trapped in that situation because nobody's going to believe that she beat you.
Right.
Well, I mean, people are going to, but a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
Just because of how society's views and toxic masculinity has gone.
No matter what happens, even if there's a whole court case, even if people are still going to be like, well, Johnny Depp beat her.
Right.
Yeah, because like you said.
And so going back to Warner Brothers, like, I've never been for boycotting a movie. You know, when the whole Kevin Spacey stuff came out and people were like, boycott his movies. My thing is that he's not the only actor, right? There's other actors. There's other people that worked on it. The director, producers, the set people.
Even Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan. Like, those I don't agree with boycotting because so many other people worked on that movie. Yeah. It wasn't just that one person.
Not just that, but they already filmed it by the time that stuff came out.
Yeah. So, but this is different. You know, they have a chance before they start filming.
It hasn't been filmed yet. Yeah.
And whether she's under contract or not, this is serious. Yeah. And Warner Brothers needs to make a statement. If you're going to make a statement on Johnny Depp, who's not even the abuser, you also need to make a statement against Amber Heard saying that we're not going to support this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen a few people say, like, oh, you're not going to be hurting Amber Heard if you don't go see if you boycott the movie. You're going to be hurting everybody who works on the movie.
Yeah.
And like to a certain extent, I agree. I can agree with that. But at the same time, like Warner Brothers doesn't need to be profiting off what they're doing.
Right. And then it's the same with Jeepers Creepers, right?
Yeah.
Not many people knew when the first one was filmed that the guy was convicted of child molestation. But then when it was found out, was it found out in the second one or the first one?
I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure if it was before the first one or not.
There was a time. Well, I know when the third one came out, they knew that they couldn't release it to theaters because nobody would see it because it's boycotting. Those kind of situations are different because the studio knows, people know, and they're choosing to work with somebody like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's why nobody else has ever made anything Jeepers Creepers wise. They can't even like remake it because he owns the rights because he created the monster.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to remake it because they know all the money will go to him. Yeah. So if a studio, like, that's what studios need to stand up for, is we're not gonna accept that, especially in this day and age where we're realizing, you know, like with the Me Too movement and, you know, Harvey Weinstein finally found guilty, that we're not going to accept this behavior anymore in Hollywood.
Right. And I also hate the whole argument where it's like, well, I'm sure there's a lot of people in Hollywood who are awful people too, so we shouldn't boycott this one person. But like, yeah, there's definitely more people in Hollywood who are awful people. But once we figure out who they are, we should kick them out.
Yeah.
We should allow them to keep going.
Kevin Spacey, right? He was never found guilty, right? A lot of his accusers dropped their charges, but he's not working in Hollywood anymore because we know so many people came forward and had the exact same story. We pretty much know what he did, and it was horrible. So he's not working in Hollywood anymore. Right. And so it proves that you don't have to be found guilty to know that somebody is guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Does that mean that we should get like a, I don't know if you can say the word, but a grown-up who likes children?
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that we shouldn't put that kind of person, like, and not give them, and keep giving them roles?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
You know, because, there's a lot of other bad people. Maybe there's ones who even did that with more children than he did,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Exactly.
And it's just the thing. I hate when people, like, try to, what's the word, like, relate things or compare stuff to other people like that, you know, because then it just makes you be able to rationalize so much stuff. You know?
Right.
I found this. It says that Johnny Depp, which I've heard about this, that Johnny Depp's still going to get paid for the movie. Right. You know, and I've heard some people say that. I still don't think that means anything because, like, he could be getting paid, and it's still a lot more money. It's a lot of money, you know, but still, it's like, well, he's still going to have that on his name.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he's still. Him being fired or asked to resign, you know, it's still wrong. But basically, he had a contract. It was a so-called pay or play contract, which required that he be fully compensated whether or not the film is made, and even if it is recast. And on top of this, there was no morality clause. I don't know what that means, but basically, so he still would get paid I think $10 million. You know, which, you know, is a lot more money than I have, but but like, it still doesn't change the fact that he shouldn't have been, because it's sending a message out there.
Yeah.
You know?
And when you don't fire Amber Heard and you fire Johnny Depp, it makes people who don't follow the case think that Johnny Depp is the one that's in the wrong. Yeah. When we've talked about it's far from the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think people understand the idea of a precedent, which is like this thing of like, you're going to pay him, but you're still taking him out of future films, which I don't know, maybe he could die in this one, I don't know, but maybe like if he was going to be in the third film or the fourth film, you know, he won't be in there anymore, right? And you're setting a precedent for later on, like if this ever happens again, the same thing could still happen that happened to Johnny Depp.
And then I also because Jude Law is about the only person that celebrity wise that I've seen speak out about it, but it was very kind of, he wasn't for or against Johnny. He basically said, you know, I heard about the news, you know, the studio has to do what they feel best, we're all just here to work, basically is what he said. And I've seen a lot of people who are for Johnny Depp get mad at Jude Law for not taking a stance, and while I would hope that Jude Law could take a stance, like, he's still under contract too. Yeah. You know, like, as we've already seen how corrupt Warner Brothers are, like, they could if he stands for Johnny Depp, he could get fired too, and because he's guilty by association.
No, exactly.
So it's like there's not much that he could have said, and I think he said it very professional, and he did what he said. He felt like he needed to speak out, but did it in a correct way.
Yeah.
And just something I saw on Instagram. There's this artist named Boss Logic, who's actually really good. I'm a pretty big fan of him, but he made this one edit because Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal, he's been in talks to replace Johnny Depp as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts 3. So Boss Logic made this edit of Mads Mikkelsen as the character. And I don't have a complete issue with him doing it. I don't think he probably should have, but I don't really have like that big of an issue because it's just fan art. But somebody said like, "No, I love you," and they said his name, but no hashtag justice for Johnny Depp. And then somebody replied, where is it? Somebody said, "I can't wait to see Mads as Grindelwald. It's not going to change, so might as well get used to it." And I replied to that person. I said, "See, I don't really have a complete issue with Boss Logic making this edit, but statements like that are part of the problem." And the same person replied back to me saying, "Okay, can't wait to see this in the next movie."
Yeah.
And it's just that thought process. Like you need to take a stand on these type of things.
Yeah. And that thought process is what, and I know this is one with this right here is one specific issue. But that kind of thought process is why why the world has so many problems. Why the U.S. in general or the world has so many problems. Of it's not going to change.
Right.
So you need to deal with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Right. And I also saw, where they said like this, the studio has spoken. There's nothing we can do. Well, we talked about Sonic. The studio spoke then.
The studio made the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know if it's the whole movie. It must have been a vast majority of the movie.
Yeah.
They animated, and it cost them a lot of money to reanimate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they, like you said, they knew they were going to lose a lot of money, so they did what they had to make sure the fans were happy. Yeah. It's the same for this situation. As long as people are still vocal about it, that they're not going to go see Aquaman 2 if she's still in it, the studio could change their minds.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, the reanimation for Sonic I think cost about $5 million, which is probably not a lot in those terms, but still it's still like an extra more money, and
right.
like I think a lot of people probably would have boycotted it just because of that original design.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so I really do like Sonic. I'm not gonna act like it was fantastic, but it was pretty fun at the least, But it definitely was an important movie, and I feel like something like that should have been showing companies what they need to start doing right now. And I mean, I know this is
it turned out to be one like the highest grossing video game movie, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Record?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely one of the best too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this is a smaller issue, but like, this is a weird segue into talking about this whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, but like the new Miles Morales game, the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
What's really stupid about that?
Oh yeah.
The whole redesign on Peter.
Yeah, his face.
I don't know why they didn't just change it. You know? Like nobody liked it. Like nobody likes it.
Yeah, change it back to the original.
Yeah, like I don't know why they didn't just change just change it. It's like,
I don't know why they changed it in the first place. Their reasoning was to have a better fit with the voice actor. But nobody complained that the original face didn't fit the voice actor's
So basically, if you don't play video games, there was a PS4 game that came out 2018, the Spider-Man game, and it didn't go with the movies at all. It was his own story, and it was Spider-Man. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years.
Yeah, so that'd make it like 23 years old.
Yeah, and then through that, Miles Morales is also in it, and he gets his powers. So this new game is for the PS4 and PS5, and it's basically focused on Miles Morales. Yeah. But they went ahead and decided to what was it called? Remaster?
Yeah. Well, Peter is in the the main focus is Miles Morales, but Peter is in the Miles Morales game with the new face.
Well, they did a remaster.
But they did.
They did a remaster.
But they also
the first game.
Yeah, they did remaster the first game, but they decided to reanimate Peter Parker's face.
Yeah, with the new actor's face.
And it seems like they picked a guy that looked like Tom Holland purposely, because the new animation looks just like exactly like
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
And he
it
looks
a lot like him.
young.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just starting out as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think Chris Duckman.
He looks about the same age as Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I think Chris Duckman made a good point of like the reason why you love the original is because I think he said use the words he looks lived in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like
he's been doing it for a while.
He's been doing it for a long time. But you're watching this guy. He's looking like a kid.
Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah.
kid. You know.
Looks like he's like in his second or third year as
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And then, at the end of the game, there's an emotional thing that happens.
Yeah.
A few emotional things that
Yeah.
happen. And this new person that they've brought in doesn't even look like he's sad.
Yeah,
like, these
right.
are, like, really big
Yeah.
things that are happening in Spider-Man's life. And it's just like, he's just, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is-
if you compare the two, like it's like night and day how much emotion there is on the original face.
Which is upsetting because it's like at the least, but it's not like you can't. It's not like this new face is impossible to have emotions on.
right.
Yeah.
You know, like at the least, like I would have hated it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I would have hated it. But like first it's just this makes me hate it even more. It's like they put so much effort into reanimating the face that they didn't want to put any more effort into animating the emotion.
Right.
You know, and it's just stupid. You know, completely.
Yeah, it is really frustrating.
And like I want to buy it, and I want to buy I'm definitely gonna buy the Miles Morales game, like
Yeah.
for a fact. I
Yeah.
want to get the
Once we finally
Whenever-
find the PS5
PS5.
somewhere.
I don't want to get it for PS4. I just
Yeah.
want to wait until I can get a PS5.
Yeah, I want to play it on the best possible.
Yeah, especially because
console.
since PS5's 4K, our PlayStation 4s don't have 4K. Because
Right.
I think the last PS4 they made was 4K, but ours aren't 4K.
Right.
But I want to buy it, and I know I want to buy it because I know that Peter Parker isn't in it a lot.
Yeah.
Which-
Because I do know that at the very beginning of the game, he leaves to go with MJ to another country to be her photographer
Yeah.
for the Daily Bugle.
Yeah,
So she's
so-
a reporter in these games.
Yeah. So I want to buy it, but I'm really debating on buying the remaster for the original, because like it looks good whenever he has a Spider-Man costume on, because it looks really good. Like the
Yeah.
graphics are fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
just
there's
seeing
ray
that
tracing.
seeing that face constantly
Yeah, I know.
is gonna,
It's
like
just-
honestly I don't even know if I'd like that face if it was in the first game.
Yeah, like it doesn't like they say they got it to match the voice better.
Yeah.
But it didn't really match the voice.
Yeah, like,
it
I don't-
matches the voice less than the original face.
I don't even think I'd like it if it was in the original game. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't match the voice like whatsoever. Like he's talking and it really just seems like whenever you watch the original, like obviously it's a video game, but like you get so into it. You get so pulled into it, like whenever the emotions and everything.
Yeah.
And just the talking. But whenever I'm watching that, it draws me out whenever I see him talking because of how distant the voice is from the face.
Yeah.
It's just I'm like, okay, I'm watching. It's a video game.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because the emotional scenes, it's like, okay, well, it's a video game.
Right.
Like whenever I'm watching his face on there.
Yeah.
That's all it is a video game.
Yeah, and also another reason why I don't really like it because the original face, I don't know. There's just like this like a welcoming vibe to his
Yeah.
face. Like he felt like an average, friendly guy.
Yeah.
pretty much like an everyman kind of. But this new face looks more like a really popular rich kid kind of.
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him.
Yeah.
But he looks like somebody who'd be like super popular and like not as approachable
Yeah.
as the original face.
It looks like a Spider-Man that's just starting out and
Yeah.
it's kind of cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't look right at all.
Yeah.
And I'm really upset about it. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna get the Miles Morales game, but I'm debating if I want to get the remaster or not.
Yeah.
I can probably get the remaster and just close my eyes every time it comes on, or maybe I can look up the YouTube videos with the cutscenes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time it up.
I might get the remaster because I know the Miles Morales game is like $50,
Yeah.
and then if you want to get the
That's
remaster,
right.
it's only $20 extra, so it's only $70 for both.
Which I don't know why people are complaining too much about the price point of $50. Like I think it's a little pricey, and I've heard it's a short game, but like most games, even like especially for a new game on PS5, I would expect.
Yeah.
I thought it was $70 alone, but
Yeah.
like on PS4, PS3, games have been like $60 for
Yeah.
a while now.
Which I'm kind of indifferent on it. Obviously, I have to wait till I actually play it to see how short it really is. But with how short people are making it seem, I can kind of understand the complaints since it's only $10 cheaper. But I don't know. It is cheaper, so I don't know. I don't know if I can complain that much.
Because it's cheaper, but you're also paying for like insane graphics, and then like the open world aspect of it,
right?
You know, so. But yeah, I mean, but I really do hope they change the face. I don't know. I at least hope in the next one they're like, well, let's just change it back because every person on this entire planet hates it.
But Sony's another company that's kind of they're not as bad as Warner Brothers, but they're kind of
stupid.
Yeah,
they're
not. They're kind of stupid.
They're not necessarily like a corrupt company as Warner Brothers, as I've seen, but they're kind of stupid. Like when it comes to making stuff.
Because I don't know if we talked about how the reason why we got a Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man.
I don't think we have.
Okay, so
on the podcast.
So I don't know if we have, but if we have, it's a
have.
refresher. If we haven't, then this is brand new. Basically, what happened? The reason why Spider-Man became in the MCU is because after
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. After
we have James Franco and Seth Rogen to thank.
So after the Amazing Spider-Man 2 did so bad, there was supposed to be an Amazing Spider-Man 3, but it did, like I said, it did really bad. So Sony had no idea what they were going to do with Spider-Man. Like, were they going to go on with the third one? Were they just going to keep it animated? But nobody knew this. It was all behind the scenes.
Right.
Well, then Seth Rogen and James Franco make that movie called was it The Interview?
Yeah, The Interview.
The Interview, where they were going to assassinate Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, it was a comedy.
Yeah. And North Korea didn't like that, Kim Jong-un. So he sent people to hack into Sony.
Excuse me, but Kim Jong-un said they didn't do that.
Oh,
and
okay.
they said that they will try to help the U.S. in finding out who hacked.
Okay, but let's be real here.
They are our friends.
Yeah, they're our Brittany. They're our friends. They try to help us.
They helped us get Spider-Man into the MCU.
Yeah, maybe that was Kim Jong-un's whole plan. He's like, man, if only Spider-Man was in the MCU. Yeah.
So, anyways, someone
we're doing quotation marks for people who are watching us on YouTube.
Hacked into Sony.
I'm a full believer in.
Someone hacked in to Sony and released to the public that they had no idea what to do with Spider-Man. So everybody had lost faith in Sony owning Spider-Man. And that's when Sony went to the MCU and said, save Spider-Man for us.
Yeah.
And that is how we got Tom Holland.
Those leaks are pretty wonderful because of the leaks you learned that Sony had no idea what they're doing with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And I think you also learned that a lot of people hated Adam Sandler. That was another thing. A lot of people who worked with Sony hated. Maybe not hate Adam Sandler, but hated that they kept funding Adam Sandler movies. And I think they loved someone. I think it was either Ryan Gosling or Leonardo DiCaprio. And I think they loved one of them. Really? I think it was Ryan Gosling that they loved. There's a lot of pretty crazy things. I think there was something that happened with Annie too.
Really?
I can't remember what happened with Annie.
That does sound familiar. That something happened.
I can't remember.
It still came out. I heard
I don't
it was
know.
horrible.
I'll look it up. I don't know if you're going to keep talking.
We also learned that Kevin Feige, the mastermind behind the MCU, he actually had sent a lot of notes to Sony after he read the script for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just a bunch of little tips on how to fix it and make it better. And it turned out to be a lot of complaints that people had with the movie.
Yeah.
So apparently they didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
But,
so
I can't remember what they were, but you can probably look them up.
Yeah. So that kind of proved to us that, I mean, we were already it was kind of evident with Amazing Spider-Man that they're not really sure what to do. Yeah. And a lot of their animated movies are kind of like, what are y'all doing?
Do you remember when, I don't know if it was just a rumor, I'm pretty sure it was a pretty legitimate rumor that they were planning on making an Aunt May movie.
I remember that. Yeah.
Before Tom Holland, Spider-Man joined the MCU and all that, before they made the deal with Marvel Studios. They were planning on making an Aunt May movie.
Yeah, I had heard about that.
And then they try to do the Silver and Sable movie. That never happened.
Yeah.
They try to do all these side.
What's it called? Silver and Black, or Black and Silver?
I think it was Silver and Sable, wasn't it?
Well, no, Silver Sable is a character.
Yeah. It's Black and Sable or something like that.
I think it was Silver and Black.
Silver and Black, maybe. Yeah, that does sound right.
Name is Silver Sable.
Yeah,
so
and Black Cat.
I think it was Silver and Black or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so
which that never happened.
Did you find out
I think it might have just been uploaded online.
Oh, okay. I heard it was bad, the new Annie that came out.
I've
But
heard
it's
it's
Jamie
terrible.
Foxx.
I've heard it's awful. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think what's her name? Willow Smith was supposed to be in that movie, but she turned it down because she wanted to have a regular childhood, you know, and then she sung that "I whip my hair back and forth" song.
And
Yeah.
she became famous from there.
Yeah, every time I think of that song "Whip My Hair," I think of that Jimmy Fallon. Who is he impersonating?
Oh yeah. I don't know, but he like does like
not
a
John Denver.
Jimmy. Is it Jimmy? No, Jim.
I
I don't know,
remember.
but it's hilarious. He does like a slow like country version of
Yeah.
it, but like it's
pretty
like
great.
it's somebody that has like a gruff voice.
Was it like John Dylan something? I don't know.
We have to look it up, but he has like a really gruff voice, and he's like
Bob
really
Dylan.
slowed down. He's like, I whip my hair back and forth.
I remember whenever I found out about that, because there were people like, well, now you got to thank Kim Jong-un for Spider-Man. I'm like, let's back it up a little bit and thank James Franco.
Yeah, because North Korea would have had nothing. They would not have cared at all.
Which I didn't even think about this. I don't know how I haven't thought about this until just now. That it's funny that it was James Franco because he was in the original Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's full circle.
He said, I can't see. He said, I can't have Spider-Man 3 again happen.
Yeah.
Which
that also was Sony's fault with Spider-Man 3.
yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3.
I think Sony might have gotten a little better. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully they've gotten better.
Because
but
with
it
that
used to be
story,
stupid.
so Sam Raimi had made 1, 2, had done amazing.
Yeah, with Tom
Yeah.
McGuire.
Yeah, had done like they made amazing money. And so he wanted Sandman, and he just wanted Sandman as the villain, right?
I thought it was Lizard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He wanted
it's
Sandman and then to
confusing.
set up the Lizard.
I think Lizard was going to be in the fourth one.
So
Is that what it was?
So he wanted,
that sounds
he
about
wanted
right.
Sandman, and then he was going to set up the Lizard at the end of the movie. But Sony said, no, we want Venom in this movie. You have to put Venom in this movie.
Yeah.
And that was when Sam Raimi lost interest in the movie. Because
he didn't like Venom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he might not
character.
like it, but he doesn't know enough about. He didn't know
Right.
enough about him, and he didn't want to make it because he didn't know enough.
Right.
Yeah, and he kept telling Sony, I don't want to put Venom. It's gonna be too weird if we put him in. I don't know too much. And Sony's like, no, you have to put him in. And so he just threw Venom in, and it's obvious that Venom's just thrown into the movie.
Yeah, especially because he's like Venom as Eddie Brock as Venom is only at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then he's killed off at the end.
Yeah.
Which Venom, the way they would have set him up would have been okay if it would have been like him being like it was set up Eddie Brock the whole movie,
Right.
and then he turns into Venom like the end.
Yeah, and
But-
then it's set up for the next movie.
Yeah, and like I can say that, but then it wouldn't make a difference because it's not like Sam Raimi did it wrong.
Yeah.
It's not like he made a mistake.
Right.
It's just that he didn't really care.
Yeah.
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 Which that's why I will forever say that the whole dancing Peter Parker scene was just a big middle finger to Sony for making him put
Yeah.
Venom in the movie.
It's wonderful. It's
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful, but yeah, it kind of probably was. Yeah. And I've talked about this before. It just reminds me of it. Which, like we said, we started off, we're like, this would be a short thing, but like, we talk about a lot of stuff.
You're reminding the viewers,
I
our
know,
listeners, of our secrets.
We don't know. We don't have anything. We're like Sony. We don't know what we're doing.
One day we're gonna get hacked, and
Yeah.
people are gonna realize.
Yeah, North Korea's gonna hack us. Yeah, and put out all of our secrets. Yeah, but I remember after I saw Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be great if they got what's that dude's name? The Chinese dude that was trying to take what's her name? Goodness. Michelle.
Yeah.
He was trying to date Michelle. I can't remember his name in the movie.
I know it was like a douchey name.
Yeah.
Ben.
Brad?
I don't know. Brad.
Was it
Brad.
I think it was Brad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd be a good idea if it would have been cool if his name was Eddie Brock, but like, okay, I get it. Like, you don't want to like give it away, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd been cool if he ended up being like the Eddie Brock character,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. It would have been pretty perfect.
Yeah. and
Setup.
Yeah, because I don't know if you haven't seen How Far From Home, I'm about to say something, but at the end of the movie, they kind of embarrass him really bad and make him look kind of freaky, you know, because he's kind of like this cool jock guy,
Right.
you know, and they kind of make him look really weird.
Yeah, really creepy.
Have people laughing at him at the end. You know?
Yeah, and plus he was like throughout the movie he gets more and more obsessed with like one-upping Peter.
Yeah.
So he already had that rivalry
did they
with
ever
Peter.
mention his last name in the
I don't
movie?
know.
Because it'd be cool if they somehow like
Brad Brock.
well, like if like his middle name was Eddie.
Oh, yeah,
And
true.
like when he
Yeah,
grew
I guess
up,
I could still do
when
that.
he grew up, he like decided to go by Eddie because he didn't want to be remembered as Brad.
Yeah, I think it would be like kind of perfect if he became Venom, because it's kind of just like the like a really cool way of setting that up. It's kind of a perfect way. I doubt they would do that, but it's kind of perfect.
What kind of sucks now though is with Sony and MCU kind of not striking that big of a deal, and Venom's already in Sony's universe.
You mean Tom Hardy?
Which I don't mind Tom Hardy, but like that movie was horrible. The whole setup was horrible.
I don't mind Tom Hardy. I mind how he's gonna be the villain, like how he's coming into the universe. Because I don't like,
especially because like you take away the most interesting aspect of the whole origin of Venom. Like obviously you don't have to copy the exact origin every time for Venom, but one of the most interesting things is that he has such a close connection to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he feels that he was rejected. Well, he was rejected by Spider-Man. Yeah. After Spider-Man realized what he was doing to him.
Yeah, and then also you have the Eddie Brock thing, where Eddie Brock has something against Peter Parker.
Exactly. So it was like a mutual hatred towards Peter and Spider-Man.
Yeah, and so you take away that whole thing. And so, like I said, I don't mind Eddie Brock, but it's just you can't really do that now because, like, Peter Parker's a kid in high school, and it'd be weird if Eddie Brock was trying to get some kind of revenge on him.
And even if they do create some kind of thing for them to hate Peter and Spider-Man, it wouldn't feel as natural.
Not just that, but Eddie Brock is made to be like a hero, a good guy.
Right, exactly.
Venom's made to be a good guy in this universe.
Right.
Which, it was still Mento that made a video about why the beginning of Venom feels like three different movies all in the first like
3 different intros or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, because and I think we've talked with when Venom came out how it starts, then it has a time jump, and then something else happens, and then we introduce Venom, and it's like it wasn't a good movie, and I see so many people so excited for Venom 2.
There was good aspects.
Yeah,
like everything that. Every interaction between Venom and Eddie Brock was pretty great. It was pretty fun to watch those. But like everything else just didn't work.
Yeah, like the romance didn't work. The villain didn't work. The end fight scene was awful. I had no idea who was fighting who.
Yeah, and that's also another thing that I also hate about them bringing in Carnage for Venom 2. It's like they're ruining like everything that makes these so interesting.
So again, Sony is stupid.
Is that the interesting thing about Carnage is that he's the offspring of Venom. And he's so powerful that Venom and Spider-Man have to team up to fight him because they're both not powerful enough to stop him. So that's what's so interesting about Carnage. But now they can't really do that.
And I love Woody Harrelson so much. He has such range when it comes to acting, but he was not a good choice.
That's not his role.
I will always like my top 2 choices would have been Cameron Monaghan, who has expressed that he wants to play Carnage.
He would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, him or what's the guy's name from Get Out and Florida Project?
I can't remember his name, but I know you're
3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Caleb Landry Jones, I think.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Who did he play in Get Out?
He
brother?
played the brother, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has red hair. He can play creepy as he was in Get Out.
Because that wig that Woody Harrelson was wearing, whoa.
A raggedy animal.
I know. And I just feel like he's too old, too.
Yeah.
Caleb Landry Jones.
Yeah, Caleb Landry Jones.
Just, like I said, I love Woody Harrelson. It's just, that wasn't the right choice.
There's going to be carnage.
God.
Oh, it's so awful.
Like, I like Woody Harrelson, but I just feel like that's a horrible miscast.
I like him for certain roles, but I don't even understand how he popped in their minds.
Yeah.
You know, like at all. Woody Harrelson. I love the dude. And like you said, like, great stuff. Watch True Detective, fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
Zombieland, fantastic, you know.
Yeah. I also feel like for like a really creepy villain like Carnage, you need to get like someone who's either unknown, well, not unknown, but somebody who's lesser known, or someone who can completely transform themselves like Joaquin Phoenix did in Joker. So like you don't recognize the person.
Yeah.
Like that just looked like Woody Harrelson in a red wig.
Yeah, and I know that I haven't seen it, but Natural Born Killers, I heard that's a very disturbing movie that he's in. So I mean, he can play disturbing roles.
And maybe like even Woody Harrelson maybe was when he was younger. I'm not sure. I haven't watched a lot of his older roles.
Yeah, because I know he was in a movie called what was that? Killers.
Yeah, she was just talking about.
Okay. I didn't hear you bring it up.
Yeah. That's what I was talking. He can play disturbing roles, and he plays them good. It's just that like you said, and especially because Carnage is younger.
Yeah.
And when it's this, because he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
That has no feelings, so it needs to be somebody that we don't really connect with, because we connect with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, especially because like Carnage needs to be like way in the future, not way in the future maybe, but definitely certainly a lot a lot more in the future. Yeah. Because one, Tom Holland hasn't even met Venom yet, and two, Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't even close to being mature enough to fight against people like that.
And I get they don't want, with Spider-Man villains, they don't want to keep reusing the same ones that they have, because they've reused Green Goblin twice now, and I get that, but there's so many more. I don't understand.
Like Kraven the Hunter hasn't gotten his time.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd be a great villain to do.
Which he would be perfect for this Spider-Man 3, because Spider-Man's on the run. He's he's like one of the most wanted people in the country now because of the way the Far From Home after credit scene or mid credit scene happened. So it makes sense that Kraven the Hunter would want to hunt him. Yeah, because he's like he's like the perfect prey.
And we still have Scorpio. He hasn't. I mean, he was kind of introduced, but he hasn't been made. I'm drawing a blank right now, but there's so many more that they could do.
I would like them to redo Electro. Yeah. Obviously, they're not going to redo them. They're bringing them back. But
well, we don't know if it's a different version or not.
Yeah, it's still Jamie Foxx. Yeah. I mean,
I think Aaron Paul would be a pretty cool Electro.
I think Jamie Foxx is.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I think Jamie Foxx is okay in his roles, but he's not as great as a lot of people make him out to be.
If you don't give him a lot of lines, he's usually pretty good. Like in Django, he didn't have like a lot of.
Yeah. Baby Driver, he didn't have a lot of lines.
Yeah. If you give him these certain roles, he does okay. And he does. Obviously, probably the main one he's known for doing good, and the only one I completely agree with that he does really good in is Ray. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and that's the one movie there. I think I've talked to you about that before. Anytime you say that you don't think Jamie Foxx is a good actor, they're like, "Well, have you seen Ray?" And it's like, yeah. Yeah, but I get it, but like, what about his other stuff?
Yeah.
Which I do think that whenever they do bring in Norman Osborn, I feel like they should consider Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, honestly,
who plays Dennis.
What was that one episode? Just because if you just say Glenn Howerton, people are like, nope.
Yeah, when the Mac and Dennis, when they moved to the suburbs. Yeah, and they start going crazy.
Yeah, that's an episode. It's like, man, this guy actually has some range he can pull off.
And especially if you watch like the earlier seasons of It's Always Sunny, yeah, obviously he's way too young. Because It's Always Sunny started in like 2005. Yeah, but like if you watch the later seasons and you look at him now, he's quite a bit older. He looks a lot more mature. Yeah, and he definitely has he can play a psychopath pretty well.
Yeah, and he pretty much is a psychopath.
It's Always Sunny. Yeah, and he has a comedic chops to be in the MCU. Yeah, so it would be a pretty perfect blend.
I also hope soon they introduce Harry Osborn. Yeah, because. Like, I get they wanted to do something different, and they have Ned as Peter's friend. Yeah. But Harry and Peter have a really strong relationship in the comic books.
Or they can just get Ned to play to be the Hobgoblin in the next.
Yes, he did lose a lot of weight. The actor.
Yeah, because his character is a Hobgoblin in the comics. So. Mm-hmm.
Which I think y'all told me because I don't really know Miles Morales, because Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man that's come up here recently.
2011.
Yeah. But I didn't know that Ned is actually Miles Morales' friend in the comics.
Yeah, they really did give a lot of Miles Morales' story to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like with him being like in this super smart school, his friend being Ned, him looking up to the Avengers and wanting to be a part.
Yeah.
I will say the super smart school is an okay part to give, because it's like, well, it wouldn't make. like the way things work, it
Right.
would make a lot of sense for like a really, really smart
Right.
genius kid to be in like a regular school.
Right.
Yeah, but like everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do hope they introduce Harry though and Norman soon, especially
Yeah.
because I don't want it to be like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 where they introduce Harry just randomly.
Yeah.
And they try to make you bond with him and Peter.
Yeah.
Like act like they're childhood friends and all that.
Yeah.
Which I hope when they do bring in Harry that they have him not be the villain in the first movie he's in.
Yeah.
Hope they build him up as Peter's friend.
Yeah, because it just was so forced in
Yeah.
was it Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're pretty much out of time,
Yeah, we're
unfortunately.
running out of time.
We have the Tom and Jerry trailer.
We'll just talk about
came
that
out
real quick.
today,
We
but-
weren't going to say a whole bunch about that anyways.
Yeah.
It looks okay.
Yeah, I feel like the Tom and Jerry parts are going to be the best part of the movie by far. I feel like I'm not going to care about the human part at all, which I feel like Michael Pena is going to be on every remake and live action ever made now because he was on this, Chips, Fantasy Island.
Yeah, that's right.
Dora the Explorer.
They need to just stop casting him as comedy roles. I think we mentioned it before.
Yeah, he's really good in dramas,
Yeah.
but not the best in comedies.
Just stop.
He has to have really good stuff written for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even in Ant-Man, he was getting annoying at times.
Right. Yeah.
Although a lot of people like him, I've been a huge fan. Sorry about that. Really quick.
30 seconds.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, we gotta go out because we're running out of time. Thank you so much for watching or listening,
And watch our channel, Two Awesome Men.
Two Awesome Men on YouTube.
We're gonna have a reaction to Blind Manor coming up pretty soon.
We're gonna have more of our best of the decade videos coming out soon. Anyways,
I'll
guys,
probably put that in the description once I upload it.
10 seconds. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening, and you will see us or hear us later.